What's up? Stock review. Back on the grind. Sunday, 04/31. And looking at the world markets, they're all down. So I go to the section on Webull that has Forex. And I have a Forex account. I have not funded it or cracked it open because I'm not sure how becoming a currency trader. I know becoming a currency trader will help me tremendously. But there's no buts. I am I was heading in that direction before I took my vacation. Now that I've been back for a couple weeks, I think maybe you see maybe 2.5 weeks of material so far on the link. I'm at this point again, and I think maybe I'll just we'll get there. You know, my thinking is trade currencies on Mondays and Fridays. Well, that's just where I'm at. Maybe once I start, my things will change. But what's going to jumpstart the world on Monday? That's why we're here. Well, or why isn't the world going to get jump started? Either way. And automatically in my head, LNG, oil, pops, look, pops in my head for some weird reason. America is a huge energy exporter. So if the energy sector is doing well, what industries besides the energy industry benefits? Well, um, number one, the financial industry benefits from a healthy energy sector. Number one. Two, if I can wrap my head around this, um, the banking does well with a healthy energy sector, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the hold on banking or the financial sector. So they're kind of pegged to the energy sector. Oh yeah, in the stock market, stocks. So a weak dollar is stock market positive, but the U.S. markets are down, and the people we sell energy to, as you can see here on the Forex, their currency is down against the dollar, not up. Now you see why, very clearly, why the United States is totally against any kind of European Russian energy product cooperation. Um, because their currency is real strong right now against the dollar. They can buy a lot of energy from the U.S., but they have a deal with Russia. instead of the United States. Let's get back to energy. The US dollar against the Japanese yen. Um, they buy a lot of energy from us, especially LNG. And we have investor Jess, or I think that's just, or less US dollar, Japanese yen will jump at the open. The influence downward shows steady bullish start reversals. Currently, blah blah blah. You're looking at the comments here with me live. Oh man. And he wants to know, you just get a Forex account, buddy. You know, sometimes people trip me out. And one to my crypto in your phone. I already got that. So, but it says 105. Um, 0.32. And let's actually figure this out. Because the colors are red and green, but I mean, seriously. Um, 105, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe, what is that? 105 and 32 hundred thousandths. At the open it was 106. Previous close was 105. The high was 106. The low, the 52-week, and the 52-week low. So there's very small margin now. Very, very slow. Very, very low. But when you're talking about buying energy, you know, come on. Japan is the biggest holder of U.S. debt, too. But just simply put, it's down 0.79 hundredths. And it was flat that day. The problem is at the open, people thinking at the open, well, our markets open before their markets, right? So they should be opening Sunday. That's something to watch, definitely. Today, tonight, we sell a lot of LNG to Great Britain, and their currency is up against the dollar. Their markets open after hours. So if we don't get a serious uptick from the Japanese yen, we might get it from the sterling. Getting a boost from the euro, we're going from right to left. The euro USD, as you can tell, our currencies are kind of pegged anyways, and they're up against the dollar. So this dollar going down is definitely going to be stock market positive, um, and USD Canadian dollar. Um, it's up against the dollar. Our stock markets are sort of kind of open at the same time, so um, some of this, debt units might find its way into the U.S. markets. Australia is after us, but they're up against the dollar. I don't know about any huge exports. What products? America imports stuff mainly from Australia. I don't think they use much of our stuff. I would have to look into that. Um, and maybe after we do the segment on cashless society, we'll come back to this and find out what exports and imports, and put it all perspective from each one of these currency regimes. Um, and help us better understand the stock market. Not only that, the economy. Not that I'm saying that they're correlated one for one, but I think it would be helpful to know what each currency regime is buying from one another before I even start Forex trading. But second row down, the Canadian is up against the dollar. Australia that's AUD USD. That's how we ended up talking about that. Is up against the dollar, but Australia is after our markets close. USD, Swiss franc. There's a lot of spread there. I don't really think there is much exchange in between the two, unless we're talking about gold or something that the U.S. might be acquiring from them, or they might be acquiring from the U.S. But I mean, most of that is, in my opinion, off record, off chart. Third row down, USD in India. Now, this is what started all this. It's in the link. What started it? But now they're up. I expect this to be really positive come Monday, Tuesday. If it doesn't turn positive on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, obviously our markets are closed while theirs is open, so we're talking Tuesday. We could get a boost from the Indian markets. USDCMY, I'm really becoming a believer in I mean, look how many currencies we got going on in that region of the world. We got USD CNY, we got USD Hong Kong dollar, which is up. And we got the Chinese people's money. I mean, how many freaking currencies do you need? They need to get it together and consolidate. I swear. I mean, here's another one. Chinese yuan, another currency the Chinese have. How many? You understand what I'm getting at? They're dragging everybody down. They need to get one currency that they're all going to use. You don't need 2 or 3 currencies. That's just me. Um, South Africa sort of kind of in the region of India. Maybe we get a boost from them that will help us out Tuesday, Wednesday. Um, the Turkish lira against the dollar is down. I mean, unless we're talking about weapon sales or something like that, and maybe that's something we need to look at. Weapon sales purchases are huge. Might be pretty close to on the level of a big ship full of LNG, liquefied natural gas, pulling up on your shore. We'll have to look into that. We'll have to step our game up. USD SEK, that's Swedish I was gonna say Corona, but it's Kona. Krona. Speak it like a European boy. Yeah, so I don't. Once again, a lot of these currency regimes, I'm not clear on what we're trading. Okay, we got peso here. I'm pretty sure our main export from that region of the world is drugs. There's just another Chinese yuan. Back again, they're down with all their different issues. After our markets are open. And once again, Norwegian krone against the dollar down. I don't see us doing much export with them. I have to check. So this will be something I'll be doing today. And New Zealand USD up against the dollar. We'll find out what we swap, what we're swapping, why, what for. And I did some editing to the link. Needed it bad. Messed up sentence structure and kind of typos going on. Mind you, I'm doing this while I'm at work. Watching cameras, watching people, and typing up stuff. So bear with me on it. That's all I really wanted to do right now was just get a snapshot of our current situation for Monday. And we'll return to this throughout the day. I'll do updates on that. There is, if you look at the global market map, it is all red. But that's not where the liquidity starts. And mind you, these are just lights, and the rate just got dropped. So it might be a little deceptive on what's going on. So if you like colors and don't read numbers, there's liquidity in the system. We're looking at it. And just to finish this off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And out of the 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, half of the world's currencies are strong against the dollar. Issue is they're not. Their markets open at different times. So if we were to look at this logically, right, what markets open before ours? Euro, because we're talking about Greenwich Mean Time. I think what we learned in school, right? Or somewhere out there in the Atlantic Ocean. That's where the day starts, right. Okay, so without going into all that, and maybe that will be a part of, I'm going to wrap really the time markets open, and I think that's important, and all that'll be wrapped up in it, and a whole expose of Forex. Anyways, maybe I do need to fund that account and open that joker up. Back to the story here, though. Euro obviously opens before us. And it's very important. So, yeah, the day starts in the east and it ends in the west. So, as the world turns, where is it already Monday? I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Nobody is on Monday right now, from what I'm understanding. Because this is early Sunday morning. So Sunday just began. So Monday, they don't start, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, 12 o'clock our time. $12 into our Sunday. 24. Yeah. Their markets should be opening in Europe and in Great Britain. And that's probably why they're the first two right there. I expect an influx of liquidity coming into the market if I'm thinking logically here. Euro, sterling, pound. They got Japan there, but their markets open after us. And the next country or the next currency regime would be to open up simultaneously with us would be the Canadian dollar. And as our markets close, then we have the Japanese. I'm not going to count that. I don't think there's too much pegging between the USD, Swiss franc, whatever, to talk about. Hong Kong is up. So we'll have, after our markets begin to close, obviously, we'll have Hong Kong, Chinese yen. I'm beginning to think Monday might not be as bullish as before looking at this. Hong Kong is after our markets close. But what makes me optimistic is the Indian rupee. This is what's got me interested. Obviously, New Zealand is here. I don't really think maybe they're a big LNG customer. Um, but you really get what I'm getting at. Um, as far as the timing, like, and when these guys open, and how this liquidity is going to make it to U.S. markets. It also equates to the bond purchases. I mean, if you're getting a deal 100 to 1 and your currency is up, wouldn't you buy a risk-free asset, quote unquote, even if it's debt? Are we poised to see Europe buy a lot of U.S. debt before our markets open? I think yes. Are we poised to see Europe buy U.S. energy? I think yes. It's right here. Do I think the weakness in the Japanese yen is going to hurt us? Yeah, but they're holding a lot of our debt. Do I think we're going to get a boost from Australia USD? No. I think it's going to be harder for us to. It's going to be more costly to bring in exports from Australia. I figure out what the trade balance deal is with them. I'm thinking the Canadian dollar up is a boost. I'm thinking Hong Kong is a boost because what we export overnight fish products for the restaurants? No. I think they're a plus because they won't be a drain to liquidity because their currency is up. But you have to think about the volume of trade. The Swiss franc is 0.84 hundredths down against the dollar, but I don't think there's much trade in between us and them. But there is a lot of trade between us and China, and their currency is down 0.06 hundredths, right? A huge drain of immense proportions. Appears to me they're counteracting the rate cut by devaluating their deal even more. All three of their currencies, right? Okay, yeah. It's beginning to get on my nerves with them. The rupee is charged 0.68 hundredths of a percent against the dollar. Back to a lot of these other ones, I don't think we do much trade with Sweden. I don't think we do much trade with Turkey. I don't know what we do with New Zealand. 0.333 hundredths of a percent. I think they buy from us more than we import from them. Definitely not a drain on the currency there. Norwegian krona, I don't think we do much trading with them. Everybody in Mexico, USD, Mexico peso, they use dollars. Here's another one of these offshore currencies. Yeah, I was just going to say that automatically. They got a currency for inside China for their communist regime, and then they got a currency they use outside of China. That's bull crap. New Zealand up against the dollar. not much of a drain. So we're looking at plus and positives, how cash can flow into the U.S. markets. Out, we got 16 different currency regimes. Out of the 16, there are 8 that are positive against the dollar. There are two of them open up, their markets open up before the U.S. markets. 2 of them, and 1 of them opens up simultaneously with the U.S. markets. This is all the positives. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them open up after. And we're talking about South Africa, New Zealand, India, Rupee, Hong Kong. That's what we're talking about after. When I speak about Monday and I say I shouldn't say bullish. That's misleading. The markets should be higher. But by the looks of this, when I find out how much trade is going on between these currency regimes against what's positive against the dollar and what's not, and who buys our debt and who doesn't, and we'll figure out where the cash is flowing. I think I can at least hand that to you by tonight. Entire? No. Just enough. I still have to finish the cashless society deal, which may be a distraction at this point. I may leave that half done and then jump on this right away. I think this is urgent. The more and more I think about it, it's 5:03. I'm gonna go get some coffee and start strategizing my day, getting my schedule together. You guys, wherever you are around the world, good morning, and stay tuned. Stock review.